famous rabbi's life. Rabbi Shalom Dangoor Z'tl, one of the great rabbis of his time, become a head rabbi in various different vicinities. Also, we're not too sure, or I'm not too sure exactly the date he passed away of his Hilula, so if anyone knows, please send me a comment, I would love to know. But it's reported over he was born in Baghdad in the year 1832, and he would pass away in Soots, I believe that was in Egypt, in the year 1916. So he would have been about 84 years of age at the time he passed away. He would go on to become a judge in Iraq, a Diyan, as I say. He will become the rabbi of the city of Soots in Mitzrayim in Egypt, which was a very, very prominent position, and would very much help in regards to huge amounts of Zionistic activity in his time, especially the famous kibbutz Nirim, respectively. He would have an integral part to really play within regards to that. So let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. As we said before, he was born in Baghdad in the year 1832. It was. And very, very great family itself, the Dangor family, who've related over various different rabbis from this rabbinic dynasty and a famous family in Baghdad. So he was born in Iraq over there, and he would learn when he was young under auspices of the famous rabbi Harab Abdallah Somech, arguably one of the famous rabbis in Iraqi Jewish history. And I think he'd work under Chacham Abdallah Somech as a Dayan, as a judge, for a short period of time. And then I think later on, come the year 1897, this would be towards the end of the 19th century, he would be appointed as a rabbi in Egypt over there. I think he would work, this was between 1897 to 1904. And then his brilliance in the rabbinate over there would reward him as a position as a rabbi of the city of Soots. I think this was in the year 1907, till the time period he passed away, which had been 1916. And so that would have been approximately about a 10-year period he would take on the premiership over there, head role as a rabbi, respectively. Now, he was known for doing huge amounts of Zionistic activity, let's just say. Huge amount for Israel, for Yeshuv Eretz Israel, to bring people aware about Israel, to bring people to visit Israel. Now, it's actually reported over that he would visit Israel 5 times, I think between the years 1899 to 1914, 15, and the 15-year range, he would visit 5 times. Remember, in those days, it wasn't so easy to just, let's just say, move or to travel to Israel like it is nowadays. You take a flight, it was a lot of work back in those days. And he would actually really help out and visit, I think, the Negev, and have worries within regards to, worries in a good way, as in how it can be built up potentially, and the potentiality within regards to that. I think now the ground which will be helped to be formed is today's kibbutz Nirim, which is I think in the northern part of Israel, on the Tzafona part, and I think there's a name over there called Dangor, respectively enough, which is actually interesting. Now I think it's actually interesting. I think there's various memorials, especially from the time period of the murdered people, soldiers during the Milchemet Yom HaTzmaut War in 1948, which is actually, let's just say, placed over there in modern day, and which is very interesting. Now, he loved the land of Israel. As this Harav Ohev Adamat Haaretz, he loved it. He commanded, like, within regards to the land, within regards to the various different parts of Israel, especially the Negev. And I think he would talk about the importance of actually coming to Israel, coming to all different parts of Israel, from the Sinai to the Negev, and to visit just all different parts, and to actually come and inhabit the land, respectively, over there. He was a great rabbi of his time. And remember, in that point in time, there was a lot of Zionistic activity going on all over the world, not just in Iraq. There was a lot of rabbis promoting, a lot of people donating huge amounts of money at that stage, that window of time. And really, this would lead, definitely gradual and important steps for sure, within regards to coming inside land and winning the land in 1948 without a doubt. Now, many generations, I think of his, or some of the generations would actually move to England eventually over there, and they would be known as a famous family of philanthropists, I believe, and they would also help out within regards to Aliyah from Iraq to Israel at a high rate. I think especially from the year 1951 to Israel. I think his brother David, he would make Aliyah to Israel from Iraq in the year 1955, and I think many others would also follow suit at various different points in time. Unfortunately, in Iraq, there was a lot of pogroms and a lot of anti-Semitism, especially in the 1940s and 1950s. I recommend everyone to learn within regards to that. I think his family members would live in Holon and settle there. Holon especially had quite a large, let's just say, Sephardi community at that point in time. So he was a famous rabbi of his time. Remember, we've related over other rabbis from the famous Dangoor family, especially Rabbi Elisha Dangoor, for example. They became prominent rabbis in the land of Israel. Some of the Dangoor members, let's just say, of the family encompassment in of itself. And he very much visited Israel on many various different occasions in his life. Now, he would actually not be buried in Israel. There's reports over he would be buried in Soots in Egypt, respectively. Remember, he would finish his role as he passed away at the time when he was working as a rabbi of Soots. So he obviously burial was more difficult in those days to travel the body to Israel. So I'm not too sure why, but he was buried in Soots. I'm not too sure if the body was moved to Israel at one stage in time, but he was a famous rabbi of his time. He was a Talmid of the famous Rabbi Abdallah Samech. Now, we've recorded over 2 videos on Chacham Abdallah Samech. Who was Rabbi Abdallah Samech? He was a head of the famous yeshiva in Iraq called Yeshivat Bet Zilkal, Medrash Bet Zilkal, which was probably the most famous of yeshivot in Iraq in its day, which is spoken about on various occasions before. And so of course, Rabbi Dangoor, I would assume, the place of his learning place was in the famous Yeshivat Midrash Bet Zilkal, along with many of the great rabbis from yester. Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm not too sure the exact date he passed away, but I believe it was in the year 1916. He was about 84 years of age at the time he passed away. If anyone descends from any of the great rabbis we're speaking about, please let me know. I would love to hear more information. We're a community here. We're learning about the great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear. We've already covered about, on this series, a good 1,000 biography videos of great Oriental rabbis, or rabbis from the Ottoman era, Ottoman period, respectively, inside this series. If you haven't subscribed yet, on near 7,000 subscribers, we appreciate you to join the channel and join the community. If anyone's interested in watching any of these historic videos of the great rabbis, please share the videos to those people respectively. And friends, we're not just recording over here videos on the great rabbis itself. We are covering on this channel Daf Yomi videos, a daily short tidbit for a few minutes each single day on the current page, which the Olam, the world, is learning on the daily page of the Talmud. We're doing Parshat HaShavua, the weekly Shabbat Torah portion. We're covering every single week on this. We look at current specific events that are taking place, let's just say, throughout the world through a Torah view. When it comes to Jewish festivals, we speak about the festival respectively, whichever it might be. The new months, we speak about the new months that we are now in the middle of, the month of Sivan, for example. We speak about other historical topics. We don't just look at rabbi biography videos. We look at explore the places that they learned, and it's something that new that we're doing at the moment, where we look at the yeshivot that they learned in Iraq, if it was in Morocco, if it was in Iran, if it was in Libya, if it was in various different countries, in the Yugoslav territories. We try and explore and find out history within regards to all those places, how these rabbis actually molded to become such great people in its day respectively. So very interesting. So absolutely amazing. So please, everyone joining in, please subscribe to the channel once again. Wishing you well, recording this just from the city of Bet Shemesh. To be precise, Ramat Bet Shemesh Aleph, and wishing you all a fantastic day, and thanks. Have a great day, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thanks.